Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I want to talk a little bit about the perils of hesitation and indecision. So I got a little bit of a conundrum with how I parked my car today at my apartment building. So I'm getting ready for an art show, and I got a ton of stuff in my car, and not that it would be any valuable for anybody else, but it really makes the inside of my car a little bit of a target. So I wanted to park near one of the street lamps, so that somebody doesn't randomly come up and think that they can break into the car easily. I mean, I drive a Kia Forte, and one trick I find is to leave the windows a little bit cracked so that it's a little bit harder to break. I learned that from a life hack video that I saw one time, and obviously I put a lot of stuff on top of my art so that it's not very obvious there's any good stuff. But it's filled with stuff and would be an otherwise good target. So I was looking for somewhere near a street lamp. At the same time, I also wanted to be close to the apartment so I could load stuff into the car. I got more stuff in my apartment. So I get to the parking lot, and you gotta understand, I'm already feeling under the weather today. I gotta get tested to see if I actually have COVID-19 or is it a common cold, but I really don't want to get tested because I just had some issues at work. I hate to be calling out of work. At the same time, if I find out I have COVID, I kind of feel obligated to call off work. So I've been just wearing a mask and going in there anyway. And I don't know. Anyway, so a lot of stress already when I was looking for the parking spot. I passed one spot that is right near the street lamp, but I see it looks like there might be a spot closer. I pull up a few more inches and I realize that spot's taken. It's taken by a rather smaller car, so I couldn't see it. And by this point, there was a car behind me. Now I really wanted this spot because it was next to the street lamp. And I was trying to motion to the guy behind me to back up. He didn't understand it, or he pretended not to because he wanted that spot. Who knows? So I turn in there, and now I'm in a pickle because I literally have 2 inches between me and the next car, and I'm not a very good driver. So good thing I don't have to leave very early tomorrow. I'll just have to pray that the driver beside me drives a little bit better than I do, and hope that nothing happens to my car when I go out there tomorrow. But that's what happens when you hesitate. I used to have this bad habit. I would I'm one of those people who would rather not ask something than to get no for an answer. Because if I ask a girl out on a date and she says no, not only is it a no, but it's a heartbreak. If I don't ask, it's just no, right? I can still daydream about what could be or what should be. At my workplace, I have a bad habit of doing that. I have a hard time asking for any sort of concession because I'd rather just not get. It's a kick in the gut when I not only don't get what I want, but also have to deal with heartbreak, have to deal with feelings of favoritism and all that. And so as kind of practice, at my job, I sometimes ask for a day off that I really don't even want. Because that way, if my boss says no, I don't feel heartbroken. The problem with that kind of logic is that when I do, more often than not, he's going to say yes. And then it becomes a day that I didn't even want off. That feels like kind of a waste. So I have a habit of doing that. In terms of the girl and the dating, I asked a lot of girls out that I really didn't like, just because that way I could swallow no for an answer a lot easier. But then I end up getting I end up spending a lot of time, money, resources with people that I really didn't like. I mean, granted, it was still an experience, and sometimes it turned out a little bit better than I had thought. So it wasn't a complete loss, but so you get the idea, right? In terms of the bismuth art, sometimes you really can't hesitate, right? When you're pouring, especially with the crystals, you definitely cannot hesitate there, right? Alright, thought I would share a little story about what happened when I hesitated today with parking. Bum, 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 bum.